For 40 years, we've been told the same story. Palpatine needed an apprentice. He found Anakin Skywalker. He broke him, turned him, and Darth Vader was born, the Emperor's ultimate weapon, his right hand, his enforcer. But that story has a problem, because when you go deep into the canon, when you pull apart the Legends novels, the Imperial sourcebooks, the details buried in Revenge of the Sith itself, a very different picture emerges. Palpatine never needed Darth Vader. Not once. Not ever. And the proof has been hiding in the galaxy far, far away for decades. To understand why, we need to go back to before Vader existed, before Order 66, before the Empire, back to when Palpatine was still playing the role of a patient, unassuming senator from Naboo. Because here's what most people forget. Palpatine spent over 30 years engineering the fall of the Republic. 30 years of contingency plans, backup plans. Plans for his backup plans. This was not a man who left anything to chance. And yet, when we look at how Darth Vader actually functioned within the Empire, we find something extraordinary. Vader was almost entirely absent from the decisions that actually shaped the galaxy. Let's start with the Inquisitorius. The Imperial Inquisitors, the red lightsaber hunters who tracked down surviving Jedi after Order 66, were not Vader's idea. Canon confirms they were being planned by Palpatine before Anakin ever set foot in the Jedi Temple. The infrastructure existed before the apprentice did, which raises an immediate question. If Vader was the ultimate Jedi hunter, why did Palpatine need an entire organization of them? The answer is, he didn't build the Inquisitorius for Vader. He built it instead of relying on Vader. Now look at the Death Star. The weapon that actually broke the galaxy into submission wasn't a Sith Lord in black armor. It was a space station the size of a moon. Grand Moff Tarkin, not Vader, was its commander. In A New Hope, Tarkin overrules Vader directly, on the Death Star, in front of the entire Imperial command. Palpatine designed that chain of command deliberately. Vader was never meant to be the Empire's primary instrument of power. He was its symbol of fear, its enforcer on specific missions. A weapon you pull out selectively, not the foundation you build. And the Legends material makes this even clearer. In multiple Legends sources, Palpatine maintained a network of Force-sensitive agents completely separate from Vader. The Emperor's hands, assassins who reported directly to Palpatine, who each believed they were his sole secret operative. Vader didn't control them, didn't know most of them. Palpatine ran them in parallel. An apprentice who is truly necessary doesn't get a parallel network built around him. But here's what most people miss entirely. Palpatine's true source of power was never the rule of two. It was never the Sith apprentice model at all. Both canon and Legends establish that Palpatine had developed Sith essence transfer, the ability to migrate his consciousness into a new body upon death. The rule of two demands an apprentice as a successor. But if you can transfer your own essence, if you are the continuity, you don't need a successor. The entire premise of requiring an apprentice collapses. And then there's Operation Cinder. Palpatine's contingency, activated automatically upon his death, required no Vader, no apprentice, no successor. It was a galaxy-wide instruction to destroy Imperial worlds if the Emperor fell, built into the system itself. You don't build a self-executing legacy protocol if you believe your apprentice is essential to your survival. So why keep Vader at all? 3 reasons. And none of them are about power. First, psychological victory. Breaking Anakin Skywalker, the Chosen One, the most powerful Force-sensitive in generations, that was the point. Not the weapon it produced. The act of breaking him. Second, the long game for Luke. Palpatine wanted Luke Skywalker as his next vessel. Vader was the bait, the emotional anchor that would draw Luke in and make him vulnerable. Third, control through dependency. Vader's suit was not just life support. It was a cage. It suppressed his connection to the Force. It kept him in constant pain. It made him permanently structurally dependent on Palpatine for his existence. Vader wasn't kept because he was powerful. He was kept because he was controllable. The story we've always been told is that Darth Vader was Palpatine's greatest weapon. But the galaxy's own records tell us something different. Palpatine was a man who needed no one, who built redundancies into every layer of his empire, who engineered his own immortality and his own legacy without a single apprentice in the equation. Vader was the most powerful Sith apprentice in history, and Palpatine kept him anyway, not because he needed him, but because keeping him proved something far more important, that even the Chosen One could be broken, that no prophecy, no power, no destiny was beyond his reach. If that changes how you see the Emperor, drop it in the comments.